I mean, as a business, Swiss businesses in China, we're very happy because finally we could now, since January 8th, travel to China. That was not possible for almost 3 years. Very good news. So we can connect with our local business in China, understand what is the needs, discuss with the people face to face, things which not easy always when you only have online versions of communications. So in that regard, very, very good.
Do you think there's a chance here, a small risk perhaps, that China will actually reverse this announcement of a reopening?
I think that the risk is, as you say, small. Very happy to hear Jonathan remark about Vice Premier Liu He's commitment to the reopening. I would be surprised if there's a reversal. Certainly from what we're seeing on the ground with our clients and our team, a lot of projects that for the last couple of years went slow or put on hold are being revived, both inbound into China, upgrading factories, warehouses, coming to look at IP protection for investments into China. All those are being revived. We're also seeing a lot of sort of dusting off of projects for China investments outbound as well. So yes, I think as Felix says, there may be a little bit of a hump, where we see Chinese New Year. Hopefully the COVID hump will pass, but people are already planning ahead for a lot of activity beyond that.
We think that the risks are relatively small, as Milton is saying. Other countries have been through this, and sometimes, you take 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But stepping back, it's very clear, as Jonathan said, top down, there's a clear mandate to shift focus from COVID management to economic recovery, right? It's top down, and that's how China works, number one. Number two is, based on our analysis, our best guess is that within 6 months, just like the US, China Consumer Confidence Index will be up to the levels that it was pre-pandemic. And clearly, the recovery will not be even. There'll be some sectors that benefit. So you take consumer services, tourism is going to massively benefit. So even pre-Chinese New Year, there was a 540% increase in bookings relative to last year, right? So that's a dramatic increase. And one of the big beneficiaries is going to be Southeast Asia, and in particular Thailand, where we're expecting to see 7 to 9 million tourists from China into Thailand, which is about 80 to 90% of pre-pandemic levels. We're also we're expecting to see good growth in discretionary consumer categories like personal care, jewelry, so on and so forth, because as people go out, they start to invest in these categories. And then, as you know, the China government is making a big effort to revive the property sector. So with a lag, that'll benefit consumer durables as well. So overall, we feel this is an irreversible change, and it's good news for the world.
China's been very focused on, over the last 5 years, on upgrading all of their manufacturing. So, they've actually done, even though they're still exporting a lot and manufacturing and exporting it, I mean, they've really focused on more upgrading their own manufacturing and to be able to supply for the domestic consumption. So I think a key point, too, is over last year in 2022, the savings of Chinese citizens has doubled in 1 year. So I think it's now, there's $2 trillion equivalent, probably about 16 trillion RMB that's available, okay? And I think there's a pent-up demand because with zero COVID, no one could go out and shop and consume in ways they'd like to. So I think now now that COVID's peaked, and they're now in that recovery mode leading into Chinese. So I think it's coming back a lot faster than people understand. But getting back to manufacturing, I think that's good for the world. I think, look, the global economy is slowing down. So, there still has to be demand there. But I think the supply chain issues will get fixed now.